Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the second video of this three-part series on me building a Socket 775 gaming computer. In the last video we looked over the parts of the system. It was kind of a bad video. This one is going to be pretty bad too, as you can already tell by the angle and the lighting. I do have a desk lamp right there so I can see what I'm doing on the inside. It is 12:31:25 a.m. Sunday, December 13th, so it is pretty early in the morning. I want to get this filmed so I can release it this week. But basically, in this video we're going to be installing, or we're going to be building the system. So, to get started, I am going to be throwing in the motherboard. Of course, we all know how this works. Gonna be moving all this aside. But, actually no, I'm not gonna install the motherboard just yet. I want to do some basic cable management here. So, this video, like I said, isn't gonna be the best quality. I'm not too good. I've tried filming this many times. You can see how bad the lighting is. But, basically, I'm going to be moving the camera in and out, back and forth, stuff like that. And the camera on the iPhone, I have to have it very far away. It's about 3 feet away from the computer, or the case. And that's what you're seeing here. In fact, I'm going to go put this other light somewhere else, just because I need that extra lighting for the video. It's a ghetto spot. It's sitting in my printer. But, hopefully, for Christmas, I have been talking to my parents about not only an ultra-wide, but a new camera. One, like a DSLR or some kind of thing like that. EF lens support, all that. Because I have a bunch of EF lenses laying around, and they're not being used for anything. So, you know, it would be nice to have a better camera solution. So now that that's done, I'm going to throw in the motherboard. So this is where I need that extra lighting. This is why I'm gonna move my light over here. Sorry for any background noise you might be able to possibly hear a little bit of. It is raining outside. It is both sad and amusing that the date is December 13th and it's raining, but I forgot something important, as I'm sure you guys are beginning to yell at me about in the comments, the I/O shield. So that is just going to go back here. I hate I/O shields. They're very hard to work with sometimes, especially this one. You can see I'm not doing too well. So yeah, that's good enough, I guess. I think that's in properly. So now, motherboard, of course. In the last video, we assembled this into its current state of having the RAM and all that installed. So basically now it's just a matter of screwing it in. So I have a bag of screws that will allow me to use motherboards and what have you in this case. I need 9 of them for the motherboard, and they're a certain type of screw. And all these screws are just like unorganized pile of screws. 4, 5. There's 6. There's 7. There's 8. And that's the 9th screw we need. So now, sorry, we will go ahead and screw that in. So just generic ATX mounting, pretty typical. Put that screw in the wrong way or something, because it's not going in. I'm going to do all the cable management or the cable routing and stuff last, just because it's a lot easier. You know, the little thing I had the idea of to zoom in way far isn't working out too well. So I'm going to zoom way back out and adjust the camera here. And kind of move the camera up. So, yeah, I need that light for the video. Actually, we're not going to install the top screws yet. I'll explain why towards the end of the video. So here's another screw, and here's another screw. So now I'll just plug in the fan to that header down there, and I will plug this fan into that header. So there's a header there and a header behind the chipset graphics card. Just generically slots in like any other card. I apologize for banging it against the case. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. And I knew this would come back to bite me in the rear, but I installed the one screw that works for the PCIe. And I should be a lot more careful, but since this is kind of shoddy components and random mishmash of assorted parts, I'm not. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but there. So, that screw. So that just sits in there. What else? What else? Optical drive. I know we have to install that. So let's move this way back. You guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna try and get the lighting to work properly, but optical drive. So I'll open that, and I'll open the one on the other side for the toolless mounting, and I will just slide it in and then close that on it, and then close the other one. So now it is properly installed. The hard drives will go in next, so let's move down there. So I'm going to be putting one in the top slot. So you can see toolless mounting. There's a little pin, and I just line that up with the screw, and then I kind of clip the drive in like that, and it just slides into the case. Would be kind of cool if it was hot swap, but $40 case, what are you gonna do? I am impressed with it though. It's great for the price. I'd expect a case like this to run like 80, 90. So pretty impressive. I feel like there's tons of stuff I'm forgetting. I feel like this is way too easy. Power supply is next, of course. Let's move over there so we can kind of just drop that in. This, either the case or the power supply is bent. You guys aren't going to be able to see me installing this because I am lazy and it'll look really bad in the video fixing the camera. But I'm just installing it. So it's one of these generic power supplies like we talked about in the last video. I can only install it with 3 screws because I believe either the case is bent or something or other doesn't line up for the last screw. So it's kind of unfortunate, but it's not really gonna make any difference. So you guys can just barely see me installing it. So go ahead and run all these cables. Actually, let's untangle all of them first, because that'll make a bit of a difference in the ease of slotting these through. So we're just gonna put them through here into the back compartment for cable management. From there, we're gonna take the Molex and stuff and push that through. Yeah, not doing the best job, but I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull all these through. A nice assorted mash of ketchup and mustard cables, but yeah. So I'm going to pull all of these connectors out and run them through the top. We will not be using the top cable management hole for any power connectors or what have you, as the power connector will not reach for the 24 pin. You guys cannot even see what I'm doing, but 24 pin back there. There, you guys can't see. Right there. So it'll go through that hole like that. So I'm going to now attach or plug in the optical drive. So this cable, this little tiny SATA cable, will come in handy for this. So we'll plug it in on the top slot on the board. So we'll plug it in right there, and it'll plug right into the optical drive, like so. Neat little cable run. Yeah, I like it. So on the back, going around to the back, let's move all this. First, I'm going to run the SATA cables. So SATA cables, we're going to be using a orange and a, let me see, an orange and a blue one. I like the color combination. So that is going to plug in like that, and then the blue one will plug in like that. So the reason I'm doing this is I can just neatly bend these back so it just is a nice little cable run. So I'll go ahead and put that through there and put the other one under that. So yeah, it'll look a lot better once there's some tension on it, but it should look something like this. So what else? Down to, or onto the back of the case, we're going to be doing this. So this is where it would be nice to have a camera that is a better, I don't know, field of view kind of thing going on. I don't know the terminology. So red or orange goes to the top drive, like so. And blue goes to the bottom drive, like that. And you can just kind of organize these cables, kind of jam them into this little lip down here, if I can put them in, and that will add a bit of tension to them, and that will allow me to have a nice look for this. So let me stuff the other one into the thing here. So, can you guys even see what I'm working on? No, you can't. So, down here, just gonna group them together like that, kind of move that one. So, then the rest of this I'm just gonna like throw into there, and then put there. So, what's next? Let's plug in these Molex. So, like I said, I have 3 generic ones, and then these 2 are for powering the top fans. So, based on how that works, I'm gonna go ahead and plug that one in on the bottom. Then I'm going to plug this one in on the top drive. And there's that sorted. Going to route the 24 pin up to there and route the SATA into there for the optical drive. And because I didn't install the top screws, you can kind of push on the motherboard and slide the 24 pin into there, and it will not be annoying. So next, let me untangle all these front panel headers, or front panel cables connections. And I'm going to pop in the front panel audio up here as well, and then run that down to the header, which is like somewhere over there. And then front panel controls and indicators will go in next to the SATA, or yeah, the SATA the SATA data cables, and those will just sit there. And USB will go in right here next to the power supply. And of course, my motherboard does not support USB 3, so we'll just leave that hanging to install USB 2. So flipping it around again, quite a mess of cables now at this point. So 24 pin, let's grab that. Gonna kind of have to put some tension on it and hope that I don't cut my fingers open on the CPU cooler. Forgive me for blocking the shot, but that's kind of what I have to do. So, you guys might not even be able to see what I'm doing. is where I have the most trouble with this build, actually, is installing this. Actually, no, I remember. I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to remove this B24 pin from this bottom here, and then put that in through the hole that the USB are going through. That will give us a little bit more room to install this, and you can see how much faster that we got that to plug in. I'm finished with it now. So let's move the light over here. And hold on, I'm just using, yeah, you guys can see that green header there. So front panel audio, just we'll plug in like so. I think. Is it in? Yeah, it is. So we'll route that behind the heat sink and through some capacitors and what have you on the board, so it stays down. Let's go down here. USB. We have two headers. So we'll go ahead and plug in one there, and the other one in that one. There we go. So that is wired up. Now for optical drive. So we'll move the SATA cables and plug in the power supply. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but you can see power supply plugged in, and we'll take this SATA cable and also jam that into the optical drive. And then reinsert the SATA data, and also slide the other dangling connector off there. So now that that's wired, we can work on the front panel. So in the manual, let's find it here. It says the front panel stuff somewhere. Forgive me for the low quality of the video. I warned you guys. Well, this is great. I can't find it. Hold on. I really should have done my research on this first. There it is. So you can see front panel stuff. So we'll plug that in. So hard drive activity LED is the first one I pick up. So it would appear that that goes there. Reset switch is the second one. So I plug that in next to the motherboard. That will not matter what orientation the connectors are in. Power switch goes on top of the reset switch, and then I'll kind of put those together and plug those in like so. And I'll put those through like that. So now, what else? I think that's it. I think it is built. How long did it take us to do that? Almost half an hour. Yeah, so, oh no, top fans. I forgot those. So, let me grab some screws. for those. Not the best cable management, but what are you gonna do? So I'm going to take this Molex that I custom wired and plug that in there. And I want one fan. I want this fan to blow air into the case, and then this fan will be sucking it out. I know that's not typical, but that's what I'm going to be doing. Let me screw that screw in. Hold this top fan down, or I guess hold it up, and then install this other screw in the top. You guys, of course, can't see what I'm doing, I know. I was making such a big deal about this series. I'm sure you guys all thought I'd put some time into it. Actually, I guess I kind of have with the many times I've tried to film it. Many times I've ditched it because I didn't have the proper parts with me, or I forgot something, or the footage was just really bad. Yeah, so put in that screw. I will be screwing these down a bit more. So once again, one fan will be intaking, one fan will be exhausting. So it'll create pretty much equal pressure, except for the power supply, of course. But that's not really going to matter too much. So you can see self-tapping screws that are strangely hard to tighten today. Don't know why that is. And I have 4 more screws that I'll be throwing in as well. So that screw's stripped. Not the threads, the actually, you know what? I'm not going to throw these screws in. Drop my screwdriver. Come on. Having a bit of trouble with this build. I don't know why. Because it's been going really well. So I'm just going to take that screw out and replace it. Come on. Rocking that uncomfortable workplace style, you know. I'm tired. My room is 1,000 degrees as always because something is really whack with our HVAC in the upstairs of our house. Everyone gets good temperatures. My room is like an oven. Only room that does that. Lucky me, I'm the one who gets it. Me with all my computers dumping even more heat into the room when they're on. So, I can't imagine it's terribly healthy for the systems to be inhaling all that. Luckily this one has some dust filters. everywhere. Unlike things like the Mac Pro or my iMac or my MacBook Pro or what other computers I have. Interesting fact, I believe I scored a free Power Mac G5 too. So, on to the back. Last thing we're going to be doing, now that this has taken just over half an hour to build, we can see this header, or this thing. So let's see, the 7 volts runs at 12 volts because I mixed that up. So I'll plug it into the 12 volt to get a nice quiet system. So let's see. I'm not gonna bother with the tie downs and stuff because it's kind of just a ghetto build and I'm getting impatient. So let's grab the top or the side panel, and we'll just pop that on, of course, as the thumb screws roll off my desk. Which they shouldn't, but I always do. So, just kind of jam all of those. Mate, this is not going too well. Come on. All right. Hopefully everything's screwed in. Just gonna press really hard on the case and put in the last of the thumb screws. And I think there are people outside, which is great. I have this theory that there's always people outside my bedroom, but not to be paranoid. So, will my house be broken into? Find out next on Is Adam's House Prone to Break-ins? Because it happened almost a few weeks back, about a month ago. Actually, I think it was like just over a month ago. Just over 4 weeks, actually. I was sitting up in my room watching, I think it was It's My Natural Color. Huge fan, by the way. Probably #1 fan, almost. Actually, no, that Christian guy is probably. But, I'm a huge fan of the channel. So, I've been with it for about 2 years now. Yeah, so to end that, put in the last of the thumb screws. So I'll move that light aside. I'll pull up the monitor, turn it on. wire everything up. So I've got the VGA cable, and I'm gonna go around back here to plug everything in. So let's go down there and hard drive spin up. You can see we're getting a display output. And the inside of the system looks very nice. So I'm gonna take you guys off the tripod and show the system. So you can see the two fans we installed, back fan, front fan lights up, optical drive does come out. Power supply, hard drives. Once again, optical drive, the two fans, so that one right there, that blows air down into that, that one sucks it out. Graphics card is giving us output. So yeah, the system posts, apparently. Rocking that dead pixel, that drives me insane. You know, if you push on them, sometimes they work. That's what I've heard, at least. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for part 3. There's a little bit of airflow coming off that blowing my Gatorade thing a bit. Funny story, I've had that up there for almost 2 years now, and I just never got around to removing it. It's been stuck up there for 2 years. Pretty cool. Almost 2 years, actually a year and a half probably. I think summer 2014 is when I put that up there, so there's a nice light on my ceiling from it. This machine will be going on my main setup. That will be the video after these. I'm gonna be taking my new setup, the other one of these, and my cinema display. You'll notice no iMac, nothing. I've just been using my MacBook Pro completely as my main rig for the past a little while. I didn't really use the iMac at all until, once I got the MacBook Pro, I just went over to that thing. MacBook Pro, I do love this machine. It used to be my mom's, got it fixed. I have a whole story on that. I'll probably do like a 6 months video, in like 2 months, I think would be it. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for part 3 where I install an OS on this and put those 2 drives in RAID 0 off my really nicely routed SATA cables there and the onboard SATA controller. Yeah, we'll be installing Windows 10 on this thing. Once I get a proper rig set up, it will be going up to Ubuntu something or other, because I do love Ubuntu. I love Linux. If I could switch over to it as my main OS, I probably would, but I don't have a laptop that'll run it. I know my MacBook Pro will run Ubuntu, but I don't want to run Ubuntu on that thing. I'd rather get like a Windows laptop or something for it. I should do an Ubuntu challenge. I'm doing a PowerPC challenge like sometime next year. Shoot, I wanted to keep that a secret. But, yeah, I should do an Ubuntu challenge. Just go for a month with Ubuntu as opposed to like a couple weeks with PowerPC. Like I said, I will be getting another Power Mac in about a week. My friend says it's broken. I'm thinking it's a dead hard drive. Looks to be like a dual processor 1.8. Love those machines. So I'm hoping it's a 7.3 model, because I love those things. That's the one that got thrown away almost 2 years ago now, so that's great. New Year's 2014. I remember that date so well. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've said this already 3 times. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 3, setting up the RAID and installing Windows 8, upgrading that to Windows 10, and probably going to do some benchmarks on it. I don't see why not. But that's for part 3. So I will see you in part 3, and hopefully the system will finish. I thought I had a RAID or a Windows installation on there. I guess I erased those sometime, but who knows. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.